All right, let's try this again. I should be unmuted now. All right. Brass tack stuff. I am playing as Castile. I do not know what I'm doing. I know a little bit about what I'm doing. I've had this game a long time. And the furthest I've gotten is playing as Castile, and I was able to colonize the Caribbean and Brazil. But then those countries, they formed their own country, and they were sort of like vassals of mine, I think. And at that point in time, I was out of my depth. But here recently, I've been watching. That was a while ago too, by the way. But here recently, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. I've been kind of brushing up on the Emperor DLC, and that's not the latest DLC, but it's the latest one that I have, and the 1.33 France patch and what that brings. And I've kind of just sort of relearned how to play, and I did a little test playthrough, and I didn't get as far as colonization. I didn't even have national ideas unlocked yet, but things were going well enough, and I was learning enough from the tutorials that I was excited enough to go ahead and try and do this online. So again, I am learning. I am not teaching. This is not a tutorial, but maybe we can learn together, because the early game, like most video games I have, the early game I'm kind of somewhat familiar with, and I think I can actually explain what I'm doing there. But very quickly, we will be into things that I don't know about. And even the early game, there's going to be depths and nuances that I'm not aware of. So we'll hit single player. We'll come up here to saved games. We'll select, I have this saved. This is the playthrough that I was doing. I was up to, I think, 1459. And I've deleted all those saves, but I have the start still saved. So we'll load that up. Starting in 11 November 1444. Also, the music, I've got it turned down pretty low in the settings. There's outstanding music in this game, but there's a lot of variance in the volume. So please let me know whether it's still too loud or whether it's too low, or whatever you think, you know. I just did a very quick test. Okay, so the other thing I would tell you is that I would love to play as Portugal. I think probably me as a player, what appeals to me pretty strongly, and it's funny because I've never really learned how to play it. In CK3, I didn't necessarily like the knifey politics of it, but it's the Merchant Republic. The idea of playing tall in an area and having an outsized influence on global trade by controlling markets, and then therefore having a ripple effect influence on the geopolitics of the world, for whatever reason, that appeals to me. Not being huge, but being small and just having strategic controls over certain areas, you know. Well, Portugal is all of that wrapped up in a nation state. And that they have really, really good trade ideas and stuff, but they can colonize also. And they are a nation state. They can build, but they're small, you know, so you can build tall with Portugal and develop all of these lands, while at the same time having a full-fledged army, national army, and navy, and a strong one at that, and then colonizing and stuff, and that's fun. So the thing is that I've heard that it's hard to play these guys now, because with the latest France patch, Castile gets a personal union on them pretty quick, and they will fight you. And fighting against Castile, I mean, it's winnable, but a player of my level, I don't know if I could do that. So I feel much more comfortable with getting a playthrough done with Castile first as a litmus test. And if I can do that successfully, then I can maybe move to Portugal. Okay, so the first thing is, I'm not going to explain every little nuance, or we'll be here forever. That's what tutorials are for, and I am not even educated on this well enough to feel comfortable and like morally right about labeling a video as a tutorial. I'm not at that level of knowledge for this game. So we have enemies in England, Lithuania, and France. Lithuania, I've heard of that country. Where are they? Well, they're huge. Like, the Lithuania I know is tiny. I don't even know if this country exists anymore modern day. I need to look that up. but they're huge in 1444. And why they have us rivaled, I don't know. But it's England, Lithuania, and France. Rivaled against France and England. Oh boy. So what we're going to do is we're going to rival England back. I'm going to ignore Lithia and take Morocco instead, right here. That's going to allow us to embargo Morocco, which I'll explain here in a minute. And it'll be helpful for us, more helpful than Lithuania. And then we'll go ahead and rival France as well. There's a video I watched by the Red Hawk, and he said that for Castile, like a good power start would be if you and Austria both, well, one, you're not rivaled against each other. They don't have you listed as an enemy, and both of you do have France listed as rivals. So they do not have France listed as an enemy up here, so there's a chance they could drop them. But there are some things that can happen right here and right here that both of you having France rivaled helps with. So we did get that. And next, we have open advisor slots here. This is our king. He's terrible. 1, 1, and 2. This is our heir. He's even worse. 0, 0, and 0. And this is the queen's wife right here. She's 48. He's 39. So they're getting pretty close to not being able to have kids. She especially. She might even be in that infertility range. I don't really know. But because... So you have administrative skill, diplomatic skill, and military skill. And that contributes over here to our national levels in the same things. So we're a 3. Well, it says we have a base value of 3. Oh, and then 1 the second. So we're actually a 4. Okay, we're a 4 here. 3 plus 1 is 4. You have base value, and you have 1 the second's administrative skill. And we're a 4 here. You have the base value of 3 and 1 the second's diplomatic skill. We're actually a 5 right here. Base value of 3, 1 the second's military skill is 2. But because we focused this, and Castile starts out with this focus, that's why there's a green check mark. This is the military. What we're doing is we're taking 1 point from admin and 1 point from diplomatic and adding it to military to make this the national focus. Okay, we're not going to get these advisors yet. We're going to get +1 advisors, and that's going to add to this score right here. These are all currencies. They're called monarch points, and you use them to purchase various things. You actually use this a whole heck of a lot more than you use gold, as far as I can tell. But first, we're going to go to the estates. The estates, if you know anything about history, you understand that the estates are clergy, nobility, and burghers in the medieval era. Okay, so those are your 3 estates. There is a 4th estate. It's the monarchy. And if you want to get into modern day politics, you can look up something called the 5th column. And I think the 5th column is also referenced off of this estate idea. And then sometimes present day you hear journalism referred to as the 4th estate. That's a little weird that it took the position of monarchy. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about monarchy being a 4th estate. But anyway, this isn't a history class. Let's go into clergy and select. We're going to get all of these advisory councils. Okay, so again, this is not a tutorial. I'm not going to explain every little thing, but we are going to read it. A key role of the clergy is to advise the king. Formalizing this arrangement would ease the process and allow their wisdom to better serve the kingdom, although it would also grant them unlimited access to the ear of the king. Now, for this, we're going to get 25% reduction in administrative advisor cost, which is important for us. When you start this game, you're not making a whole heck of a lot of money. We should look at that. We're making 6.23 ducats right now per month, okay? And that might seem like very, very little. It's just how the game is, everything's relative, right? Actually, 6.23, we're doing very good. We're doing better than a whole lot of nations out there, but you can chew through that in a hurry. And one of the ways you can chew through it is whenever you go to hire these positions. Look, it costs 1 ducat a month for the cheapest of them. If you want to step up to a +2, you're looking at 4 ducats a month. And we're only making 6. And we got to hire 3 of these guys. So it helps a lot to get these advisory councils from these 3 estates. So we'll take this one. They're going to get plus 5% loyalty. I've learned that as long as you're at 30% or better, you're okay. But when you drop below 30%, you start getting some major malices. It's also going to give them 10% clergy influence. Now, they're only at 15% right now. And this right here has a direct impact on how much of a bonus you get, but there's a little bit of a danger area. You start pumping this up to the 90 or the 100th percentile, and if I remember right, they can do some things to you. They can force you to make choices because their influence level is so high. So there's a constant sort of yin-yang balance here that you want to play. But we're going to load this up. Watch these numbers change. Right now they're increasing because they're in charge of the tax. By the way, as Castile, I'm going to role play this as like super Catholics because that really is kind of what they were. Because of the whole Reconquista thing. I mean, when you putting blood on the line for 700 years, you're going to be real strong in the paint on that area. You know what I'm saying? So, they are at 50% loyalty, 15% influence, and they're giving us plus 5% national tax modifier. We're going to select this. It's going to lower our absolutism by 5%. Max absolutism will be changed by -5. I actually don't know enough about the game to explain that to you. The big thing that I see is that it doesn't take away any crownlands. So here we go. We'll give them this. And, well, that looks the same to me. Maybe when we unpause it, we'll see this jump up to 25%, and this will jump to 55%. That's what's supposed to happen. All right, over on the nobility side of things, we're going to take aristocratic counselors. There can be no better source of advice than the nobility, who are able more than anyone else to dedicate themselves to the cultivation of their minds. Yeah, because they don't have real jobs. That's what makes them aristocrats, right? So do they devote themselves to the cultivation of their minds? I don't know. Maybe some do and some don't. But the military advisor cost is -25%. And the stability cost modifier is plus 10%. I believe we incurred that same cost with the clergy. I'm not for sure, though. But stability cost modifier is a thing. And so that is that plus 10% will be felt. But it's worth it to get the 25% reduction. So we'll pick that. They're currently at 50. They have 45% influence right now. It's pretty strong. And it's historically accurate. Spain should have been the primary nation that just outstripped everything in Europe when it came. Once they got access over here and Portugal may have been first. I don't remember. I know Spain. I think Spain was first in America. Well, yeah, Columbus discovered it for Spain, right? Italy wouldn't bankroll them, but Spain did. But because they had weak monarchs at that time, and their nobility had so much deadgum influence, they really fell into a lot of corruption. And they just completely shot themselves in the foot from people being individually greedy instead of seeing the big picture and kind of like high tide raises all ships sort of approach. They just were out for their own, these individual nobles and stuff. That's as I remember it from, we're going back to high school history there. I don't even recall looking heavily at this in college. I'm going back to high school for that. So so I could be wrong, but here we go, 5 and 10%. Now that just jumped up to plus 10%. Oh, and there we have our 25%. Yeah, that's interesting. So it's whenever I do something, it kind of triggers this. That should be 55% though. I don't know. We'll find out. All right, burgers. I don't pronounce that right, I'm sure. Land of Commerce, Admiralty, Patronage of the Arts, Advisory Board. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. In matters, so it's a commercial advisory board. In matters of commerce, the burghers are far more knowledgeable than the king. It would be folly not to make use of this advice to ensure that the wheels of the economy remain in motion. Again, a reduction of 25% in diplomatic advisor cost at the expense of a plus 10% stability cost modifier. And they will also gain 5% loyalty, 10% influence, and a neg 5% to max absolutism. Okay. Maybe it's these. I don't know. Now, if I seize land, it's loyalty that gets impacted. $20 loyalty, so everybody's going to get knocked down to 30%. And right there it tells you at the bottom of the tooltip, rebels may rise up if any estate drops below 30 loyalty. Okay, but I am going to seize land for the crownlands. Over here, you can see that we're at 30% of your land is fully controlled by you. The way that I've had it explained to me is that 30% is the cutoff where you don't have any malices. But the video I saw, every country started out, their numbers added up, or the split here added up to 29%. And that was why people were seizing land, was so that if you fall below 30%, you take some pretty heavy malices to your tax income and stuff. But I'm going to seize land just to get a buffer. I just made all these people happy. So I'm going to take this. It does put everybody at 30%, so they are right at the threshold. And our crownlands went up to very close to 35%. Okay, what will be next? We haven't unpaused yet. It's kind of important not to unpause. We've done rivals. We probably need to send our various diplomats out, and that's something that's a little bit tricky too. We got a lot of stuff to do with diplomacy. I am not going to be doing anything diplomatic, including royal marriages, and I don't remember if the royal marriage part is correct or not. But just to be safe, I'm not going to do anything diplomatic with Portugal until Portugal has taken exploration as an idea. It'll say one idea here. It'll always be exploration first. Once they take exploration, they're guaranteed to take expansion next, as it's been explained to me. And the reason we want to wait for that is because we have missions that allow us to basically, it's called a personal union. They'll act a lot like a vassal, and eventually they'll incorporate into our country, I believe, and they'll colonize for us. But if we make deals with them and we start getting closer in our ties to them before that happens, or something goes with a royal marriage where we accidentally get a personal union real early over them before they've taken that idea, then they will not take that idea and they won't colonize for you because they'll never take the idea. So I'm going to avoid, and it's a little bit wonky because it's not historically accurate. Historically, they're friends. You can see right there, they even get a modifier for it. Historical friend plus 25. These two have been working together for a long time to help push the Moriscos out of the Iberian Peninsula. And this group right here, Aragon, is part of the same dynasty. Their king is of the same family as our king. And the guy over here in charge of Naples, who is under Aragon in a personal union, is also a Trastamara, the same family. So they're united by blood. Okay. So what are we going to do diplomat-wise? Well, from what I understand, every country has a certain amount of diplomatic slots that they can fill up without incurring penalties. For us, we have 4. And these are the things that fill up the most rapidly. So what I want to do is, Aragon is not a rival, so I want to ally with them. I am going to absolutely have to ally with Navarra. That's really important right now. I am going to take a gamble that Navarra will offer to ally us. So actually, the first diplomat we're going to send out is to improve relations with Navarra. We want to get this number, this plus 42, up to 190 as soon as possible, because Aragon is also vying for them. This is a race between us and them to see who Navarra will fall under, and we definitely want it to be us. So that's where our first diplomat is going to go. I want to be allied to Aragon. I want to embargo Morocco. I want to be allied with... Well, if we wanted to be historically accurate, we would ally the Pope. But because of how things are going to go, I'm going to first ally Austria and Burgundy, and then once we have Navarra secured, assuming that we get them secured, that should open up another slot, I think. It might not, but if it does, then we'll start working with the Pope. And we can always improve relations with the Pope and not necessarily ally him. You know, so the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send a diplomat, not covert, economy actions. We're going to issue an embargo onto Morocco. And the reason I'm doing it in this order is because we get him back in 5 days, but the other guys, I'm going to want to, at least one guy needs to be improving with Aragon, and the other one needs to be free. So this is a one-time action is what I'm trying to get at, and I'll get my guy back, and I can send him to do longer-term actions with some of these other people. Is kind of where I'm going with that. I hope that makes sense to everyone. Before assigning this other, well, I should assign him. I've only got one left, so let's offer a royal marriage to Burgundy. Well, alliance actually is what we should offer first. Actually, it's more important to get an alliance. They won't do it yet. Okay, well then we'll send to Burgundy. It's more important that we be allied to Austria. But they won't accept it. We have to improve relations with them. Alright, we're allied with Burgundy. Now let's switch over to the trade node because I want to explain that embargo and why it helps us. This is the Sevilla trade node. This is our primary where we gather from. We collect trade here. Now the first thing I'm going to do, well, let's talk about these real quick. 94% of trade power. So Castile, Portugal, and Granada all form 94%. The little 6% here is being pulled forward. 5% is going to Aragon, 1% is going to France. So we're collecting, the Iberian Peninsula is getting the vast majority of this trade. And then who's causing that 94% of the trade power? Well, Castile accounts for 47% of it. 47% of the trade power among countries collecting from trade. Their trade power is 138.747. The largest trade power share in the node, Castile, makes privateers plus 56% efficient here. How do they come up with that 138.747? Every county you own that is assigned to this trade node gives you more trade power in that trade zone. We have the biggest ownership of the Iberian Peninsula, so we get the biggest slice of the pie. Portugal looks to me to be smaller than Aragon, but they're pretty comparable, and Portugal has some trade bonuses to it. They've got a couple what's called estuaries over here, which add 10 local trade power. They got 2 of them, and then they have a natural harbor giving them plus 5 local trade power, and they have the next step up from that, I think, which is level 2 coastal center of trade, the entrepot. I'm not sure, it might not. Yeah, coastal center of trade. So level 1 is called a natural harbor, and a level 2 is called an entrepot. So they've got some big bonuses to trade, and that's actually giving them an outsized influence here. One of the things that we can do to give us more of an advantage is take our 6 light ships. Light ships have these are barks, and they have a special trade power bonus to them. So if we, first of all, we're going to tell them go to port during war. So that's active. They have that as a rule. Then we're going to assign them to protect trade in Sevilla. It's going to add 14.96 trade power to Sevilla. We estimate this will change our trade value from 4.87 ducats to 5.14 ducats. And they do the math for you. It's a 0.26 ducat profit per month, while this fleet costs 0.28 in maintenance. So it seems like it's going to be a loss. My guess is that there are things that technology advances that improve that in the future. But we're going to go ahead and do that. So they have a mission. We have another group here. This is basically our armada. We've got early carracks. These are big ships. We got 4 of them. And then we got these troop carriers here, a whole slew of them. We're going to take this entire group down to, I don't know how to say this. I've been saying Murcia, but I bet you that's more like Murcia. And we're going to take them down here and we're going to mothball them. right here so that we don't have to pay maintenance on them. That's going to help us make some more money. If we look at our economy, we're now making 6.65. This was a little bit lower before. I don't think I showed you that before, but it does all the different math, and you can mouse over each thing. Well, I thought it would give you a breakdown. This one does. But anyway, that's the amount of ducats that we're making per month, 6.65. Okay, so we've got those two things assigned. By embargoing Morocco, coming back over here to trade, 94% causes 7.77 ducats to be retained, and we account for 47% of that trade. I don't know if that number is different from what we read before. It might change at the end of the month. I can't remember, but we are going to be making some kind of an impact with those trade ships, the light ships. We gain 4.87 ducats here. Oh yeah. Now we have two merchants. We have one assigned to Safi and one assigned to Tunis. This is the Safi trade node. If you notice, we have these, I don't know what to call them. These are the paths of trade. It's almost like a map of trade winds. These are the various trade lanes that things are being delivered in, and nothing is being delivered on this stuff right now, except maybe from the Azores, because nobody's discovered that new world that would be sending stuff back over here. You just have the indigenous peoples over there right now. Oh man, they even have trade winds. The movement cost to adjacent sea provinces will decrease or increase depending on if you're sailing with or into the wind. This affects both trade range and colonial range. That's insane. This game takes a lot of things into account, and that's why I love it. This is coming, I think, from the Ivory Coast, which has not been colonized or anything, so there's not really anything active on this line at this point in history going to Europe, as far as I know. But here we have stuff coming from the interior of Africa. You can see it goes off into Terra Incognita. This is area that hasn't been explored by Europeans yet. It's unknown to us. But North Africans know about it. The Moors know about it, and they're trading. And then from there, it goes, and there's one output, one pipeline going from out of Safi and into Sevilla. Well, the purpose of having a trade merchant in these places is to take a certain, as much as they can, however much their influence allows them to, it'll be a certain percentage of the whole pie, and to help steer that to a lane that comes to us. So they're playing politics down here. They're buying people off, whatever it is that businessmen do and trade merchants do on behalf of nation states to get things to go their way, right? To go this nation's way. Well, with only one pipeline going to Sevilla, that we're not really getting anything out of him. It does that by default. It doesn't have anywhere else to go. Contrast that with Tunis. This is the Tunis trade port. They've got input coming from Egypt and south of Egypt. Not Egypt. They have stuff coming in from I can't think of what would be down here. The Congo? The Congo's pretty far down. I can't name a nation, guys. Maybe East Africa, you would call it? Gosh, not even that. I couldn't tell you. I don't know, but it's coming from this area of Africa, and it's going into Tunis. Additionally, it's got something coming in from Egypt. There's trade coming in from Egypt that's going into Tunis there. No, I was wrong. That's going to Genoa. No, not even Genoa. That's going, yeah, Genova. It's going to the Genoa trade node. That's from Egypt. Tunis is getting from Africa, and that's it. That's actually it. It's only got one input, but it's got 3 outputs. It's got one going to Sevilla. It's got one going to Valencia, where Aragon is at. And it's got one going to Genoa. So having a trade merchant here that able to push more of this coin, more of the slice, a bigger slice of it, to Sevilla is tactically beneficial to us. So we're going to leave him in place. But I'm going to recall this guy from Safi because he's not really doing anything for me as far as I can tell. And even if he is, I'm telling you that right now, early game, it benefits us much more. We earn 4.87 currently. It benefits us much more to pull this guy from Safi and actually put him in Sevilla. It'll take him 6 days to collect from here. And we'll take another peek at this here in 6 days and find out what the difference is. All right, now, all of that to say this. Because we rivaled Morocco, when we sent the embargo, it actually won't tell me what it is. Is it over here? Has reconquest embargoed by Castile. Morocco is being embargoed by Castile, which reduces their maximum power in the following nodes. Tunis is reduced by 1%. Bordeaux is reduced by negative 0.8%. And Sevilla is reduced to, or by, they're reduced 25.8%. I'm using the word reduced, so you get it. So that's big, almost 26% impact right there. And that's 26% that's now being split up amongst Portugal, Sevilla, Granada, and Aragon. So it's kind of like, I mean, this is kind of a maybe not the best example, but if you were to team up with 5 dudes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they'd go rob a bank. And one of those dudes somehow accidentally, quote unquote, gets killed. Well, his slice of the pie now gets divvied up amongst everybody else. That's what's happening here. Tunis is getting embargoed, and 25% of their take is getting reshuffled towards us, and we're splitting it amongst all these guys. So that's really our first early game goal, is to gain as much control over this Sevilla trade node as we possibly can. And we'll be doing short-term stuff as well as long-term things to make that happen. Okay. I would actually argue that maybe a lot of the game is based on that, because all of this stuff that we're going to be colonizing over here eventually, it's all going to push the stuff that we're colonizing down here. It's all pushing to that Sevilla trade node. Everything's getting pushed there to that Sevilla trade node. So this trade node, a lot of the game revolves around what's going on with that. All right. So let me move my army here down to Caceres. And I just unpaused it, kind of out of habit. So we are unpaused. Everything's beginning to move. An alliance offer from Portugal has arrived. I'm going to right-click it. We're going to ignore that. Oh, we didn't fill the advisors. Okay, we're only taking from the +1. But see, they're not 1 ducat a month anymore. They're 0.75. So we have national tax modifier and we have production efficiency. I'm going to say we're not really well developed yet. I'm gonna say we probably stand a better chance of making more money from a national tax modifier. So I'm gonna pick him. And notice that bumped us up from 3 to 4. Now we have a choice between trade efficiency or spy network construction. I will take the trade efficiency. An additional 10%. Up from 3 to 4. And then military, we have only one choice, and fortunately it's a discipline. This helps our Navy. That's a good one to get. So we'll take him. We go from 7 to 8. So 4, 4, 8, these are the amount of monarch points in each respective area that we're earning per month. And as I told you, or I might have said it in the stream that I messed up earlier and was muted. So if I haven't said it, I'll say it again. That's a currency. This is used as a currency. You buy all kinds of things with these monarch points. And in my experience, they actually get used a whole lot more than gold gets used. So this is a big deal in the game. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at missions. Do I want to look at missions yet? Let's hold off on that. Let's finish doing diplomacy stuff. Okay, but we're moving these guys down and we're getting ready for what's called the Reconquista, to complete the Reconquista. And whenever I look at missions, that's when we'll talk about that. But first, we got guys returning. Okay, we've got one free merchant here. The Kingdom of Italy and the Empire. So Austria is letting us know. This is like news. They're not really telling us. We're hearing through the grapevine. This is international news of the day. For years now, imperial authority over the Kingdom of Italy has been waning. This is the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire. Successive emperors have failed to impose their will on the Italian states as they have begun to act with total disregard for imperial laws and customs. Unless the wayward nations of northern Italy are firmly reined in soon, Italy may slip out of imperial control forever. Hey, for anybody interested, you can see we have historical examples. This is the very beginnings of the Renaissance. We know that because we've got 20/20 hindsight. But what you are seeing happen here is that these nations have their own customs, culture, and traditions. And this place, the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire, is trying to make everybody same. All right? Modern day, we would call it globalism. All right, now maybe you're pro for that. I'm not trying to make a political statement here. I am pointing out that we have historical trends that show people break away from that eventually. It's just really hard to hold unity across so many places when they have their own history, their own ways of doing things. It's just very difficult. You had a Roman Empire at one time, you had Ming Dynasty, but these things rise and fall, and there's a reason for it. So we're playing a game that shows a historical example of some of what we're seeing happen real time right now, modern world. I think that's fascinating, so I wanted to bring that up. So we're going to click OK here. And we have a free diplomat. We want to get Navarra taken care of as soon as possible, but we can't do anything until 12 December 1444. That's about a month from now. And that's because we recently sent a diplomat to them. So we allied to Burgundy, right? Let me make sure about that. Where do I go for that? There we go, 1 of 4. Burgundy. Okay, so we did ally Burgundy. That's why this guy is back. I've taken care of my embargo. I think I'm going to embargo France. Economy. Embargo confirm. Okay. When this guy here gets back, we will embargo England. Okay. All right. Now, if we come back over here to trade and check on our number here, we're up to 5.74. And you can see that reflected right here. Our trade merchant has moved from Safi to Sevilla, and he's collecting 5.74 gold there. So our total income now is at 5.2. We were in the 4-something range before. No, wait, we were in 6-something, but I guess troops are moving now and stuff like that. But I know that that trade number was at 4-something before. So that's a plus for us. We'll check it again when the month flips. Sometimes some of these things don't really even take their full effect until the next month flips over. Okay, we have ships on the move. We have merchants or diplomats returning. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to offer to improve relations with Austria. And then I need to keep one guy free so I can continue offering. There's a whole list of things we need to do with Navarra that will help improve their score. So 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. I'm playing just at 1 speed right now. We're going to click that up here in a little bit. All right, Nuno Orellana is ready to go to Austria. Enjoy your time and represent us well. So first of all, make sure that we can't offer. We cannot. We will then ask him to improve relations. All right. In 8 days, we'll have our third and final diplomat available. And there we go. We have an alliance offer from Navarra. We will accept that. They jumped up to plus 92 opinion of us. Where's our fleet? Right here. Here's the Armada. The Curia controller has picked a golden bull. Okay. The king, by virtue of the powers granted him by God, the Pope has decided to bless us, enacting the following golden bull. Christiana Payetas. This golden bull has the following effect. Development cost is reduced by 5%, and tolerance of heathens is increased by 2. My guess is that the Pope would give this to us to encourage us to go ahead and take over Granada. He's saying, hey, look, you know, we're giving you paper, we're writing on paper that you can have a little bit more tolerance of heathens because you have special circumstances. These people live amongst you. And so when you get that go ahead, that's almost like a clandestine, sort of like we might use the word dog whistle these days, that says, hey, by the way, maybe you want to just take them over. And as they change their culture into you and integrate into Castilian ways, we'll give you this forgiveness because it's better for everybody, for all of us in the long run, right? That's kind of what's going on there, I think. I'm not Catholic, nor am I well versed in the history, the religious history and the political religious manifestations of the Pope. I'm not very up on that. I know some things because I do like European history on the whole, and you can't really read about European history without understanding something of what the church had its role, you know. But anyway, I'm not an expert. All right. This guy's free. I have moved up to speed 3. We will... What's the next thing I can do here? We can proclaim a guarantee. This is saying that if anybody attacks them, we'll come to their aid. That's gonna... They're at plus 94. They're now at plus 104. Okay, he'll be back in 3 days, but we gotta wait a month. In the meantime, let's look at missions. Oh, we're in December too. How much money are we making? All right, we're up to 6.2. What's that trade node say? Well, I could have looked here. 5.64. That's what I'm looking for. It's making a total of 8.4. And of that, we're getting 5.64 of that. I just repeated myself. All right, move over to political map mode. We got another offer here, an alliance offer from Aragon. Yes, we will accept that. Okay, so where does that put me now? I actually should have, I messed up. I should have offered them an alliance early on. I don't think I completed my thought. Whenever I was showing you how many slots we had, I should have told you these slots, they fill up fast. And so you want to get those alliance offers out real quick. And I kind of did the opposite of that. Our fourth slot here is being reserved for Austria. They don't have a high enough opinion to enter into an alliance with us yet. But that's what that fourth slot's being reserved for right now. All right, we're in December. We need to get into January. Morocco announced us as their rival. Let's pause it. A royal marriage offer from Burgundy. Now that we're going to turn down. Right-click that. We want to counter offer them a royal marriage. We don't want to accept their royal marriage. This is the way I've had it explained to me. What am I looking for? Dynasty actions. And it didn't get fleshed out in detail, but the inference here, as far as I can tell, is that whoever it is that offers the royal marriage, they're offering the male. And so the woman is marrying into his bloodline. Their children will carry his name. And we don't want a royal marriage where a member of our family would have their children carry the Burgundian king's name, his family's name. We would want it the other way around. And if it goes that way, it gives us a chance that there are certain circumstances that can arise that will force these guys to look for a protector. And they usually choose Austria, but every now and again they will choose Castile. And that happens if we royal married them and not the other way around. So click royal marriage, send that offer to them. Here, notice this will bring our two realms closer together. Our legitimacy will change by -5 when signing the deal due to their inferior prestige and legitimacy. But every year, depending on how many royal marriages we have, no matter who it's to, as long as it's a royal marriage, nobility bearing nobility, we gain 0.1 yearly legitimacy. And the more that we have, the more that these bonuses go up. So you pay a cost up front if you marry into somebody lesser than you. But then you kind of get it back over time, and then you eventually exceed it, because this never stops. You continue to get this payment every year. So it's like investing. We're going to confirm. All right, encroachment of the nobility in Asturias. It's hard to monitor everyone everywhere all the time, and the boundaries between individual land properties are often grounded in old traditions or documents written when the landscape may have looked quite different. For someone with the right resources, this can be exploited. So they don't have a permanent document. They're wanting to view these documents as not being something that's timeless and based on basic principles that should remain in effect all the time. They want to look at it as a living document that changes with the times. Well, why do they want to do that? Because it opens up the opportunity then for them to exploit it. That's my position. I think it's really, really clear whenever you read this. That's exactly what's going on. A number of prominent nobility families have used their considerable influence in Toledo to get away with expanding their properties in Asturias considerably. If we want to protect the property of the state, okay. What about individuals' property? Maybe you might want to throw that in there. But we're in a different era too. We must act soon. All right, we could let it slide. We would gain plus 25% local autonomy in Asturias, and the nobility would gain plus 1% of the land. Or we can demand that the land be returned. And there is a 50-50 chance here between no effect and 7 noble regiments rise up and revolt in Asturias. Either way, the nobility estate will lose 15 loyalty, and they're currently at 30. That's going to be a problem for us. I haven't faced this early before. I don't want to do this. I'm going to go with this and see if I can manage it. The 7 noble regiments should not be a problem. It's that loss of 15 loyalty that really bothers me. Demand that land be returned. Okay, now there are disloyal estates in your country. Estates with a loyalty level under 30% will result in a negative modifier for your country. And Morocco announced this as their new rival, and we entered a royal marriage with Burgundy. Okay. What else is going on? We got 10 days for this guy to return. We're also entering into January. Let's let the clock move forward. A royal marriage offer from Navarra. Now this one we can accept. And also, what can I do next? I can offer military access on 15 Jan. Okay, let that tick over to 15. That gets them to 141. My king, in order to further our goals, we have decided that the troops of Navarre should be allowed to have military access to our nation. We hope they all perish in a pointless war. That's terrible, man. All right. I think that's the last thing I can do besides offering gold, and I don't want to offer gold right now. Okay, let's see if we can address this issue right here. Now we can see what the effects are. National unrest plus 1.5. Manpower recovery speed negative 7.5%. Currently we're at 8,944. We're getting 211 each month. We have a maximum of 27,238. So this is causing us a problem, because we have a long ways to go here, and we have a bump in the road now that's slowing things down because they're upset with us and they control manpower. We also have a 7.5% increase in expense for our military. So that's hitting us in the pocketbook. So it's those three things. National unrest plus 1.5, manpower recovery speed negative 7.5%, and land maintenance modifier plus 7.5%. We can maybe do something here, but I don't want to give them crownlands. So that puts that one out, that one out. This one looks like this is already... Oh, it's not available. We don't have an army tradition of 30. Okay. Increased levies. We would gain influence but no loyalty, and loyalty is the problem, not influence. We can't... We've already done that one. Right of counsel. The nobility must have the right to speak to the king openly and freely without fear of repercussion. They gain 10% influence, putting them at a uncomfortable 63%. But they do get that 10% loyalty, which would it still only gets them to 25%. Son of a gun. Supremacy over the crown. That doesn't sound good. With the scales flipping towards the decentralization of power, the estates are increasingly able to dictate their priorities to the king, leaving him little choice but to agree to their will. No, we don't want to do that. Monopoly on mining and smelting. We gain 1 mercantilism. We also gain 33 ducats, but we get no income from iron or copper. Without iron, our armies would be toothless. Only the nobility can be trusted with administering its revenues, for it is they who make the greatest contribution to our nation's armies. That's a possibility. Monopoly on livestock. So we have options here. We can go with iron and copper, or we can go with livestock. Command of the military. The nobility are in control of the military, making us reliant on their favor to exert force. That sounds like a really bad idea. No, I don't think so. All right, so I'm thinking iron and copper, and it's because we're not very well developed, so we're not getting a whole lot off this stuff yet. I think there's a map mode that will show me trade goods. Do I not have any iron or copper anywhere? I have naval supplies. Is there another kind of good? Technology, institution, trade value, loot, devastation. Trade mate? No, that's the trade map. It wouldn't be colonial. This is a little bit stunning to me. I don't trust it. So we got the naval there. See, that's a trade good, isn't it? Wine and Sevilla. I want to find out how much iron and copper we have. That's thread or something like that. Wool. It was thread or wool. We got gold here. We do want to plus this up, by the way. We want to increase this to 10 development within it by about 1554. So I'm going to kick it up to 4 right now. Glass, cows. This is iron. Current price is 3 ducats, so it's doing pretty good. That's silk, I think. No, cloth. Yarn, wool. So I've got 1 iron so far. Wine, wool, cows, fish, naval supplies. Is that what that's called? Yeah. Fish, cows. Is it just cows? Yes, livestock. Naval supplies, yarn, or wool, I should say. Here's another iron. So we have 2 iron and no copper. Only 2 provinces produce iron. I think that might mean that it won't be a heavy hit to us. Monopoly on mining and smelting. Can't be revoked until 1455. All right, and then what was that other one that I was thinking of? Right of council. This one I am a little bit nervous about, but it doesn't have a lot to say. It just simply seems to say that they gain 10 loyalty. Has no effects upon being granted. It might mean that we get more demands from them, in which case that could put us right back in the hot water that we're in already. How come that didn't kick up plus 10%? Maybe. Well. What? I feel like I got robbed. Okay, successor, that doesn't have anything to do with us. Royal marriage from Aragon, we'll go ahead and accept that. Hopefully I'm not making mistakes there. The tutorial I watched, I don't remember it warning me against it. It just warned me when it came to Burgundy. That's very upsetting. I gave them something and it didn't seem to reflect. Changes by 0.38 per month. Equilibrium is currently 59.3 and is affected by a base of 30, legitimacy of 4.3, aristocratic counselors 5. Maybe the nature of the event slammed it down and just keeps it there. I mean, that would make the most sense. That's the best explanation I can come up with. But that's quite frustrating. You know what I didn't do? I didn't summon a diet. I need to do that now. Okay. It increases everybody by 5%. So they're at 20% now. The estates of Castile have proposed agendas for the summoned diet. Favoring one of the estates here could have large benefits in the long term. The clergy bemoan the poor regard the Pope has for our nation. They call for us to reaffirm our standings as good Christians by solidifying our relations with Roma. The nobility call for us to strengthen our fortifications in Rioja. They argue that it is imperative we protect this key strategic position from attack. And the pitiful state of our coffers is a matter of great concern to the burghers. They urge us to moderate our spending so that our treasury may be replenished. Of those three, I think the easiest one to obtain is going to be raising our influence with, it's the papal state, right? Yeah, we need to get to 100 relations with the Pope. So I will select that. It tells us that we have until 1465, February of 1465 to get that done. All right. Let's look at missions. So this is what we're working on. Prepare Reconquista. And what it'll do for us is it'll give us ready for war for 15 years. It improves morale of armies and navies by 5%. It'll also give us permanent claims on all of Granada, also known as Upper Andalusia, and Navarra as well. But in order to accomplish that, we need our manpower to be at least 60%. We need to have at least one general, which we do. That's why there's a green check mark there. We need our total navy size to be at least 100% of the force limit, and our total army size to be at least 100%. So of those, the one that's going to be the hardest to accomplish is manpower. So what I'm going to do is I am going to assign Alvaro de Luna to this army right here. A lot of guides, most of them in fact, and they may be right, tell you to disinherit Enrique right away. I have one guide by a guy named the Red Hawk says don't do that. And the reason he says don't do that is that by keeping him around, there are circumstances that allow you, if you keep him until 1450, I think it is. 1450 is the date that you can start getting an event from Aragon where Isabella can become your heir. And because she's 23 years old, you can then abdicate to her right away, but you don't want to have a baby in there or you won't be able to do that. So it's not a guarantee that you'll get Isabella, but it is increasing the chances that you can get Isabella as your heir and therefore get rid of King Juan faster. That's the end goal. So we're going to keep him for right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make him a leader. Give your heir a military command. Now that's a bit risky because I want these guys to train. And they can die during training. Your generals can. but I want to raise our professionalism so that I can slacken recruiting standards and gain manpower, right? In fact, I can do that right now, and I'm going to. Okay, so that's going to boost us up to 14,000. Additionally, I'm going to order mercenaries. It's going to be this free company here. Is that the cost? Do I have 72 ducats? Yes. Okay, we're going to put them right here in Badajoz. And that's going to help us reach our force limit. So they're up. I need to save up some more money. We have 834 sailors. I need to mothball these guys right here. That'll save us some money as well. We can't even declare war on Granada yet. We have a truce with them. So we're waiting for that date to pop up. I don't remember when it is. We can look over here and find out. But first, let me... What would you do for me? Is there anything else that I can do here diplomatically? I'm pretty poor right now, so I don't want to send them a gift just yet. They're at positive 143. I think that was the last thing I could do for now. So I'm going to start improving relations with the Pope, since that's our diet mission, and it's just something we would want to do anyway. Let's see. Relation actions, improve relations, confirm. All right. Other than that, the next things that we're going to be doing, well, first of all, we're going to start training. And then we're going to need to order regiments. Oh, where'd these boys go? I had them ordered. Oh, we'll be fielded 20 February 1445. Okay. We're going to have to go in and get our force limit up. So we need 10 more regiments on the land, and we need 3 more ships. Okay. And we're going to need money for that. And we need a lot of manpower. 60%. What is 60? What's 50% of 27? I don't math well, especially in public. 10 would be 20, 15 would be 30. So 12 is 24, 13 is 26, 14 would be 28. So 13,000 would be 50%. So say probably 16 or 17,000 is where we need to be. All right. Are we still looking at the same numbers here? Oh, we only need 4 more regiments now, and that's because we got these guys. The reason we want to order them is so that we don't have to pull as much from our manpower to fill that up. That shot us up from 24 to 30. So at 36 gold, I can get 3 regiments. I happen to remember they're 10 gold apiece. So give it another month. There we go. Okay, open our construction, our production interface, and order Latin medieval infantry. And I want actually, I think I'm going to want them to join the main army. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That brings us down to 2 gold. Nobility's up to 22% here. So they're slowly improving. 5.57 ducats a month. That's actually not bad at all. Why is this gray? What did I pick? I must have hit a key or something. I'm used to WSADing a lot. So sometimes I'll I'll hit a hotkey on accident. Okay, we have these guys. The surrender of Maine in exchange for accepting the Treaty of Tours in 1444. The county of Maine was promised to France. In practice, however, this has taken quite some time to materialize. The arrival of Charles VII himself on the scene seems to have made the holdup go away, however, and finally Maine is now in our hands. All right, so France got Maine. Claims have been fabricated by England on Vizcaya. All right. That's a thing. Let's see here. Okay, we are at force limit. So now if we go to mission and we look at our requirements, it'll tell you green check mark next to total army size. Is at force limit. We're at 163 here. I have 26 gold. I could give them 25 gold for 25 opinion, but it doesn't really help us unless we're at 175. So let's just wait for that. Let's look and see when that truce comes due. It's going to be under this diplomacy. Truce with a bunch of people. Oh, that's the Pope. February 1448. All right, we're at about 2 years out. 2 years out. We don't always get to hit them right on the date, but we want to get as close to that as possible because Portugal's truce runs out with them also, and they could come over and take it. That'd be really, really bad. I would flat out have to restart this if that happened. Okay, let's try and give them. I actually have to recall from the Pope. Working to improve in Roma. Okay, recall him. And send a gift of 25. Improve relations by 25. Go ahead and confirm that. That gets us up to 193. Okay, so in 1 month we should, that's right, we need a 190. So 175 wasn't required. I miscalculated because we didn't have to reach 200. We needed to reach 190. Influence. We want to offer vassalization. We can do it. Boom. My king, Navarra has accepted the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to become our vassals. We will now receive a portion of their tax incomes. All right. You may only annex a nation which has been your vassal for at least 10 years. So 25 May 1456 is when we can annex them, which we will, because that will free up that last diplomatic slot. Over here, these guys will accept an alliance, so we can send for that. My king, Austria, accepted our offer to enter a military alliance. Okay, so we have all 4 of our slots are full now. But eventually, here in about 10 years, which is not long in this game, Navarra will be annexed by us, or they can be. And once they're annexed by us, I don't think that they count as a vassal anymore. They're just part of Castile. And then we can ally Rome. All right, this guy will be back soon, and then we can send him back to improving relationships with the Pope. Where are we at here? 26%. We're getting close. All right, and I'm at 30 gold as well. They want to offer royal marriage. We'll accept it. And on this one, I think you specifically want to have them marry you. Now, see, having 4 royal marriages will give us 0.4 yearly legitimacy. These are the Habsburgs, very, very famous for spreading their dynasty around through marriage. And so because they're on the seat of power for the Holy Roman Empire, they're actually more prestigious than we are. So we take no legitimacy hit. And what will happen, or what can happen in the future, is we can get an event called a strategic wedding or a strategic marriage. And it's them offering to put a Habsburg on our throne from this union. And if we accept, there are benefits we get that have to do with Burgundy, that tie in with Burgundy. These are things that I learned from videos I watched on YouTube. I haven't necessarily experienced all of this, so I hope I'm not misstating that, but I think that's how it works. So we will accept that marriage offer. Now I want to go in here, unpause. I want to come over and see if I can slacken standards again. Not yet. I don't have 5 professionalism. I'm only at 0.97. Okay. All right, fair enough. I do have 35 gold, and I need that 3 ships still. Those 3 ships. Also, you can see that our force limit is increasing. That's because we incorporated Navarra. Navarra is like our subject, our vassal. Okay. Actually, it's up to 35. So, what do we have here? Countries wish to hire Condottieri, so we could send one of our units out there to merc for them, and we would make money off of that, but I'm not going to. What we are going to do is we're going to order more troops. We need 2 more. You're at 16, so those 2 more will go to here and push him to 18. This is with these guys right here, he'll be at a force size of 18 also. All right, that puts me at 25 treasury. A traveling minstrel, a renowned minstrel, recently crossed our nation's borders. His intention is to roam our country, bringing joy to all who hear him. But some say only your ears are fit to hear such wonderful music. Allow him to go where his heart wishes. We would gain 1 stability. That's a big deal. Bring him to court. We would gain 10 prestige. We're at +8. We would gain a skill 2 artist that would lower stability cost modifier, but he'd be too expensive to pay. So that 1 stability is real good. By having 1 stability, you get these greens by being at +1. So that's very good for us. And losing stability in this game is something that kind of routinely happens, so it also acts as a buffer, keeping us from entering into negative. We have a vacancy in high position in a high position in the church administration of Toledo. There is a churchman from a rich family who has made an offer. If we approve and back his election to the position, we will gain a large contribution to our coffers. Some more devout people claim that this is a sin called simony, but what do they know? It is a sin. We're going to gain 10 papal influence instead. We're going to reject the 56.28 ducats and the increase in reform desire because we're acting corruptly and the church is implicated. We're going to say absolutely not. That's ridiculous. And the Pope is going to like us for that. So again, super Catholic. I'm going to try and role play some of those decisions actually, meaning that I go with the Catholic choice instead of what I want to do. I don't know if I'm going to be successful at that. You know, I think I've already had one choice where I was like, well, this would make sense, but yeah, allying the Pope, I allied Austria instead, you know, so I don't know. We'll see. All right, this guy goes here. It is November of 1446. February of 1448 is when that truce ends. We're at 12,682 men. Every time you order one of those regiments up, it's 1,000 guys. So it really eats in to our manpower. France declared war on Brittany. And Joan de Trastamara of Navarra has died. Our royal marriage with Navarra has ended. Okay. Well, they'll be offering another one here pretty soon, but we don't really care so much now. We've got them. So that's not something we have to keep up with. Actually, as a matter of fact, I can recall you. Alvaro de Luna gained skill from drilling guards. He gained one in artillery, I guess, even though artillery isn't a thing yet. All right, a queen consort of the people. Let's pause it. It has become clear to us that Queen Consort Maria is a woman with a heart of gold. She always does her best to please her husband, King Juan II, and treats her friends with unparalleled kindness. During a recent trip to the Segovia province, Queen Consort Maria saw the suffering of its poorest peasants with her own eyes. Ever since, she has been drafting a plan to help her most destitute subjects. In order to make these ideas into reality, however, Maria needs some funds from the nation's treasury. So she's got a plan, but she needs the king to okay the funding. The people are ours to look after. She has our support. It'll cost us 60 ducats, which we don't have, and 15 admin power, but national unrest will go down by 2. Or we have more important matters to deal with, in which case we gain 5 legitimacy. We're at 92 right now. Well, what is our national unrest? Is there something that shows me that? Stability and expansion. Well, I'm not sure where I would find national unrest at. Government, I don't think so. Strengthen government. I would ordinarily say yes, but I am leaning towards no right now. Because we're on the cusp of going to war. The thing that I wish I knew is whether or not it would stack up Like, we're at a +1, which gives me a buffer. If we lose a stability, we only fall to 0. If we took this and it gave us -2 national unrest, does that mean it has to go to -1 and go through 0 before getting to a +1 national unrest and causing revolt? I actually have a feeling that is what it means. I just wish I could find it in here. Missionary strength, this is religion. Well, if it was going to be anywhere, it would be here. Okay, each level of positive stability has the following effects. -1 national unrest. Each level of negative stability has the following effects. So it's affected by where your stability is. So we're at a +1, so we're currently at a -1 national unrest. I think this would make us -3. I'm going to do it. That's probably money well spent. It is going to put us into a deficiency, but we often pay in gold to import silk, alum, spices, and pearls. Alum. Yeah, because the Brits say aluminium. They hate that Americans say aluminum. They hate it. So I bet this is alum. And that's why they're like, it's correctly pronounced aluminium, you idiots. So spices and pearls from the East. As trade between East and West becomes increasingly frequent, the deficit of gold in Europe becomes more apparent. Gold has become an increasingly rare commodity in our world, but the demand for these luxuries has not decreased. If we were to gain access to a source of gold outside Europe, we could put an end to this bullion famine. We should start searching for gold before others do. The first Christian European power to secure a new source of gold will reap great benefits. All right, good to know. And he improved in artillery, even though we don't know what artillery is. Granada is having difficulties. This was historically true, too. They had infighting going on. They got 9K right there. Okay, we're in March, so we got about a year left. We're at 13.5. What's mission look like? Well, we're at -5, so I still haven't been able to plus up on the ships. Additionally, oh shoot, now we're over 1. That's just angering. Because I took from our manpower. Select this unit. I'm at 13.5. Do I get it back? Probably not. No. Oh, that's so frustrating. That's 1,000 difference. That's a big deal when you're only making 214 back. Oh, we took a loan. Shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna have to pay that back as soon as I can, actually. Take a 5-year loan of 141 ducats. You can have up to 52 bank loans at the same time. Wow. You don't have enough money to repay any loans. Well, it says I have 150. Why can't I pay it back? Maybe I need to flip to here and go back. X. Huh. Well, you know what? We need ships. So go to military. All right, we're at force limit there. We need 3 ships. I'm going to get 3 galleons. Yeah. I need to open this up, actually. Go to ships. Here's galleys. Maybe galley is... I don't know if a galleon is the same as a galley. What's the cost here? 10 gold. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now those take a long time. 350 days. I should have done those before I did the soldiers, but I was worried they would be more expensive. Truce will expire. Disputed succession. Oh, yeah, let's see, what are we doing here? We're improving with Rome, and we're improving with Austria, and we can improve with Aragon. Alrighty then. Oh, by the way, the only mod that I have loaded up here is a text mod. It's called Stellaris font, and I think it makes things a little bit more legible. And I've expanded my UI a little bit. I think it's 115%. Okay, we completed the estate agenda. So the clergy is real happy. They jumped up from 41% to 51%. The nobility is back to 32%, so they're over 30. And that should reflect over here. We're up to 15,000. We're making 266 recruits each month. Okay, we have 2 active cardinals now. Now we have 3, actually. Okay. Is there anything that we can enact here yet? Not yet. These are some powerful things. They really help a lot. What do we have here? You can select... Oh, I forgot about that. We're going to go with oarsmen. We shall fight the temptation to have slaves and the condemned rowing our galleys. Free men, resilient in the face of adversity and resistant to defection, shall form the muscle of our navy. Galley combat ability is increased 15%. Selecting this naval doctrine will cost you 160 gold. Ooh, boy. Okay, well, go ahead and grab it. And our truce with Granada has ended, but we cannot declare war yet. We can't complete this. Manpower level is still climbing. Total navy is 145 days out from being complete. Tell you what, we do need to know, who are they allied with? Oh, shoot. They're allied with both Morocco and Tunis. So that can be a pain in the neck. But at least they're not allied with the Ottomans. That would be terrible. How are we doing on money? Because we're about to have to bring these ships out of mothball. Okay, I think we'll be able to handle it. Oh yeah, can I slacken recruiting standards yet? Probably not, no. I'm going to go ahead and take these guys out of training. Have their morale start building back up. Oh, mission fulfilled. Okay. That's done. Get these ships over to Mercia and unmothball these guys. Also, move into attack position. Desires of the flesh. While we have successfully managed to keep the truth from the rest of the court, it is only a question of time until it gets out, unless we do something. The King Juan II recently discovered that his wife, Queen Consort Maria, is having an affair. Oh no, she was supposed to be the good girl. She's out there taking care of the poor. Not only that, but the other guilty culprit is none other than our advisor, Hermenegildo de Ayala. The trust we put in him was obviously unfounded. Imprison them both. Let's CK3 this thing. We can do that, right? Now we know, at least. We can take measures to keep this quiet. Allow the affair between the Queen Consort and the treasurer to continue? Oh, gross. While doing our best to keep it from the public eye. Lose 10 prestige. This cannot continue. Find out what Ayala wants for his silence. We would lose 90 ducats. To never breathe a word of the affair to anyone. Nah. No. This is high treason and no less. We shall have Ayala's head for this. The treasurer is executed without a sufficient explanation. This act will be seen as tyrannical and create unrest in Toledo and the surrounding area. I can't do that. Man, does it really, is this what nobles would do? Does it really affect how you're viewed by the people that much? To me, I would come out and be honest. Hey, this trick was doing something she ain't supposed to be doing. I would advertise that to the Pope and ask for her excommunication. I would definitely execute that dude or drive him from the country. Give him, you got to run the gauntlet. You got to run the gauntlet from the north to the south. And if you're lucky, you can come down here and live with these people and see how they treat you. But you're going to do that naked. And then we're going to whip you all the way. That's a long run. We cannot have an adulteress for a queen. Maria must go. Papal authority. That seems diplomatically to be the best thing to do. And it gets us probably a younger woman who can have kids. You see what I'm saying? It solves multiple problems. As devout Catholics, the only way to end a marriage is to request a special dispensation from the Pope, Eugenius IV. It is almost unheard of that he would grant such a request. If we only had some influence with the papal state, perhaps we could have leveraged it to change his mind, but it turns out that we are without power in this situation. So we lost 10 prestige and got nothing out of it. I'm going to just pretend like in the background we're getting plenty out of it. We have a lot of power as a king. We can make people's lives absolute hell on earth, and that's what we're doing. I can't believe that first option. Let them continue. Is it too much to laugh like that? Man, let them continue and just keep it hush hush. Oh my gosh, that's some low T. That's not really a term I tend to throw out there, but I've heard it before. That's bad. No, man. They hold provinces that we have claims on. War goals to take province you have claim on from the target. Okay, that's for us getting the Casus Belli on Granada and Navarra. Okay. So we're moving into position. We did lose the prestige, so we're at neg 1. Enrique is in charge, and if we have any luck at all, he'll die. Particularly if this is her kid. Oh, well, it's your kid too, though. That's a little bit, that's going too far. We do want him dead. We want him dead because he's a terrible leader, right? but we're not playing really as that family member. we have what do you call that? The omnipotent view of Spain. 000. This guy's the worst of the worst. I mean, he's not. I don't want to say that he's a terrible human being. Who knows? This dude could be a fantastic poet, or he might be a world-class harpist. You know, I mean, we don't know, but he's not a good ruler. This is not the area for him, and he can't have that many people under him when he's that bad at this thing. We need to find something else for this dude. Ruling is not it. I didn't know we were paused there. Sorry. All right, now look, these options are available, but we're not going to take them yet. It'll give us a public union or a casus belli actually on Portugal. What is it called? Reunification casus belli. But we do not want to do that until Portugal has taken exploration ideas, which will be the first one that they take. Alvaro died too soon. All right, well, let's hire a military commander. Recruit a general. Fernando de Castilla. What did we get? Whoa, he's really good at the fire phase. 1 pip in shock and 2 pips in maneuver. That's pretty nice, actually. All right, Fernando, you have command. Over here, we need to merge all of this. And with us facing all of these guys, I think I'm going to keep them in port, but I do want them repaired. And it's mostly in case I have to use these cogs. So how are we looking income-wise? We're still at 4.11. Now that's going to drop a little bit because once we declare war, our trade ship, our trade fleet is going to go to port because we ordered them to do that. But we're going to be outclassed navally. Navally? Is that a word? We're going to be outclassed by their navies, their combined fleet force. What am I waiting on? I'm waiting for them to be 100%. Yeah. Gosh, I hope there's not something else I'm forgetting. All right, it's 10% every month. Actually, I'm just going to keep them in port and let them heal up. We need to. I don't want to risk Portugal swooping in and taking this from us. So we actually have to recall a guy. We're at 198 with Austria. That's good enough. You can only get a max of 200. So we're going to recall him. 17 days he'll be here. Okay. So, all right, everything looks good. We do owe that loan. So I haven't forgotten that, but let's go ahead and declare war for Granada. Now we can call people in, but we would have to give them favors or land, and I believe we can handle this ourselves. Navarra will help us because they're under us now, so they're automatically on board. Oh, I've never looked at this before. 38,000 troops versus our 31,000. 10,000 cav versus our 7,000 cav. Nobody has artillery. They have 106,000 naval strength. Yeah, that's... And then we have 67,000. All right. Confirm. You guys... If I split you... And I sent one of you... The no army... No. Send the no army there. Send Enrique. Where's Enrique at? Assigned and assigned. Oh, there's a free company there. There. Okay. Send Enrique to siege, I guess. No. Yes. Send the free company to attack. And send this 6K over to Maria. This full 17,000 army will go to Granada. Unpause and see how that turns out. We will recall that diplomat. Okay, so already we are having to replenish troops. Why is that? That's because we're suffering a little bit of attrition here because we're conducting a siege. It's the same thing here. Yeah, both of these are because of the siege. 0% from supply limit, 1% due to siege. Okay. Oh, no. I think my light ships did not make it to port safely. Oh, here they are. So I didn't lose any ships, though. But they did get defeated, and they are ported now, and they're getting repaired. Okay. Now that gives me the opportunity, because they're not doing that trade protection anymore. We're still in the green, even though we're at war. So we should be okay. Our ports are blockaded. Country is at war. Okay, and we're at 52 ducats. The free company... has won. Okay. Now they're going to sit right there in that province and siege that fort down. Maria is now occupied. All right, this is pretty neat how the army works in sieges. And I don't have it down super well. But there's basically, let's pause it. There's this dice roll every month. They have, their morale is right here. They have 2,000 troops defending. They're in a level 2 fort. Their fort defense, because a number of things, including salt, which I guess maybe means their food lasts longer. I don't know why else salt would help you, you know. And then their mysticism, I wonder if this is a faith thing, helps their resiliency, their personal resiliency, because there's real world psychological studies that show people who have a faith belief, not any specific faith, just a faith, are like significantly, it's measurable. They're significantly more resilient to crises. Personal crises or any kind of major event like a terrorist action that just happened in their area, something like a 9/11. They're a lot more resilient, and it is measurable than people who don't. Regiments needed 6. Okay. We got more than that. So over here, the phase progress modifier goes from 0 to 12, and they're ranked, but like a +1 means that there's a supply shortage. At +2, you're at a food shortage. At +3, you're at a water shortage. And Oh, no, no, no. These different shortages give those values. +1, +2, +3, and then +2 if defenders are deserting. So that adds to our dice roll. This is our dice roll right here, 3. And all of these things are the things that add to it. So, for instance, we're being blockaded. So they're being supplied from the sea while our country is being blockaded. And it looks like we're fully blockaded. Well, our northern ports probably aren't. Some of them are. So that's helping them out. And then their fort level also helps them out. These are -2 each. So whatever we roll, we subtract 4 from that, and it'll give us a final number here. This is if we breach their walls. This is if we have artillery, it looks like, besieging artillery. And I don't think anybody possesses that yet. And this is our leader has 1 point in siege. So that's Enrique. Over here, our leader has no points in siege. But he's on phase 1. And he got an 8. So right here, you have each time a siege phase happens, a die from 1 to 14 is rolled. That roll is then added together with the siege modifiers, which on this roll was a net -2, because you have -2 and -1 is -3, but you have a +1 here leading to a net -2. On a natural roll of 1, the attackers will suffer a disease outbreak that reduces their numbers by 5% of their maximum strength. The results of the roll are as follows. Disease outbreak. If you roll a 1, it's a 7% chance of rolling a 1. Then you get what they told you. You get a 5% decrease in their max strength. If you roll anywhere from a 5 to 11, which they're telling you you have a 50% chance of doing that, you're going to get a supply shortage. You have a 7% chance of rolling a 12, getting you a food shortage. At this point in time, this stuff adds up over time. At this point in time, it's not even possible for us to roll a 14 to 15, a 16 to 19, or a 20, which a 20 would be a surrender. The siege has been going on for 88 days, and the next siege phase is in 42 days. So I think that's really nifty. So we'll watch Malika here. We're at -57%. Every month this will tick. So we rolled 5 that time. We're still at -57. So this is a part where we're basically just waiting. I'm really not wanting to speed it up to level 4 because I'm watching this stuff right here, and I need to have enough time to react if they land troops. We are up against 4 different nations, basically. We rolled a 5 that time. What's this? You can call allies. Yeah, but we're not going to. Actually, if I did... Hold on. Let me create like a scum save. Because I don't want to I don't want to click that button and have that actually do it. I want to see if it... Okay, there we go. This will cost you 10 favors. Well, if we had their navy, we could gain naval superiority. I'm gonna try it. I've never actually worked at this before, so I need the experience anyway. See how this works out. Okay, so they're in. Where's this war at? Does it show me what the naval power is? This is us. Naples is in also. This is them. Okay, so their naval power, well, they don't really give us a total number, do they? They have 3 heavy ships. We have 4. They have 20 light ships, and we have 11. We have 15 galleys. They have 6, and those galleys are going to hit hard anywhere from, well, they'll even hit hard right here. Out in the ocean, nothing. Look at the tooltip. This is coast. Well, let's get into deep ocean. This is coast also, really? Hold on. I want to show you this. Oh, yeah, because it touches a coast. All right, deep ocean. Doggone it. Give me something that's not coastal, you sons of guns. Open seas. Unit will take attrition. Open sea. I guess I don't have open sea. Okay, well. So then we'll do it like this. This is a coast. Galleys will be slightly more effective here, doing 50% more damage in combat against other non-galleys. Okay. As we move in, this one I think is the same thing. This is coast. But if you move in another sector, this is an inland sea. Galleys will be more effective here, doing 100% more damage in combat against other non-galleys. So all of the naval combat that happens from here, this direction, is going to be an inland sea. So, and we have more galleys than them, 15 to 6. And then we got 31 transport ships versus their 30. Now, also remember that in our naval policy, we have free oarsmen. Galley combat ability plus an additional 15%. So that should be an advantage. Now, I kind of want to wait until they get here. But when they do, I'm going to bring my ships out. They're waiting for... Okay, they just reached full, and there they go. Oh, you know what? I need to select... Allow allies to board? No, I thought it was allow allies to join. So our fleet can transport. Maybe once I'm in the water. Okay, we've got our first ships out. So I'm going to come out. Oh, maybe it's up here. Allow attach. And there's a green check to it. Okay. How many they got over here? They got 20. All right, so I've got multiple things I'm watching now because we probably got ships on their way from Naples too. Looks like there's already a brawl happening here. Here's another potential area. All right, let's bring Malacca back up. They even got a little timer for you right there. We're halfway through the month, I guess. All right, that time we got a 5, but they're now at neg 42%. That's a neg 42% chance to surrender. All right, pause it. Merino wool. Castile has secured a monopoly on the export of wool from merino flocks. This fine wool is prized in markets from Seville to Flanders and is an important cornerstone of the Castilian economy. The ranchers, mostly nobles and clergy, have organized themselves into the Mesta, an association promoting their interests at court and in local governance. Their influence ensures that it remains a serious crime to export sheep of this breed outside of Castile. All right, nice. So, looks like everybody's going to get increased development cost. but they're going to get that's going to be 10% increased development cost, but they're going to get 20% increased local production efficiency. Nobility gains 2% of land, and clergy gains 2% of land. Really? So I'm currently at 35.198. Clergy at 9.2. Nobility at 46.3. Ugh. Oh, they took from the crown lands. Them jerks. Them jerks. No likey. Alright. But that reminds me, La Mancha needs to be increased in development. Alright, all the way up to level 7. And is greater than its base tax and manpower combined. Increase the manpower. That was stupid. That was stupid. I should have increased tax. Alright, but okay, increased tax. And I don't have enough Diplo power. Alrighty then. Still at -1 prestige. Currently 0.24 a year. Wow. Yes. Okay. No war happening here yet. Not that I see. Do we have any damage? No damage done. Even the cogs have guns on them, I believe, so I keep them there for a little bit extra guns. -42%. Now we're at -35%, and we rolled an 11 for the first time, so 14% chance for that food shortage and 7% chance to get a 14, which gives a water shortage. Oh, that's right. I have free diplomats, and so we can start spying on Morocco, which is what will allow us to get claims. Dynastic actions, no. Covert actions. Build a spy network. And since I have another one available, I will also build a spy network and Tlemcen, even though Tlemcen is getting eaten up from both sides. So they may not exist very long. Bring this guy home, and he can start building a spy network over in Tunis. Alright, let's see here. You guys are not blockading. Got 10 ships. See, I'm very dubious about splitting my fleet, but it looks like I might have to. Split. Move to here. Alright, now that creates a blockade. I don't know why this... Oh, because I own it, so... Because I sieged this down, it doesn't need to be blockaded. Now this is going to help us, because they're now blockaded. Remember, this was at a -2 before. Ah, the Renaissance. Pause. Since the 14th century, the wealthy and powerful in the Italian city-states have been patronizing artists and scholars willing to explore the old Roman and Greek societies of their forefathers. As a cultural movement, the Renaissance already encompasses most of the region and has had a profound impact on literature, art, philosophy, and music. Humanist scholars are also analyzing the society in which they live, comparing it to the ideals of the classical philosophers. At the turn of 1450 Renaissance, humanism has grown into a more mature movement, ready to permeate all aspects of society. Yeah, wait until they crown a French prostitute as the goddess of reason. This whole thing comes full circle. A new ideal for rulers as well as those who are ruled is spreading as quickly as the early printers can distribute copies of these new ideas. A true Renaissance humanist is an expert on everything from politics and philosophy to art, textual analysis, music, and architecture. That's why we have that phrase, I'm a Renaissance man. It means you know a little about everything, right? The Renaissance is now ready to reshape the world to better fit its classical ideals. This changes everything. Embracing the Renaissance institution will be vital for future advancements in technology. All right. Unpause. We're now at neg 21%. Okay. And we rolled a 10. That was a food. No, that was a supply shortage. There's a 3, so also supplies. No, actually, that's kind of a nothing, isn't it? The siege of Granada is over. Nice. The siege lasted 431 days before the garrison finally succumbed to hunger and disease. Castile now controls the province. Oh, my guys are getting beat up over here. The garrison were allowed to march out, keeping their flags and arms. We won a war initially. Maybe here we won a war, but I need to get over here. 29 ships is a lot. I don't know. I would need help from Aragon. 24. Okay, well, we're beating the smithereens out of them now. We won that. Combine everything and repair damaged, which is 14 ships. Okay, pause. The world has decided not to entertain Aragon's claims for greatness. At just 2 ships, and they are early carracks, but I don't want to risk them. I'm going to go ahead and put them into port. We're going to need help from Aragon. Unless these guys can get all fixed up. We're now at neg 7, so we're closing in on this as well. Positive 7. Now we're rolling 14s. Positive 28. Defenders are deserting now. Well, no, there's a chance that was a water shortage at 14. Pause. Incompetent administrator. Matters of governmental organization have never been Juan II's strong suit. What a good leader does to compensate for such a known weakness is to delegate, and this is exactly what our king has done. But the people who have handled administration in his stead have proven to be more competent than honest. Oh, meaning that they're plenty capable, but they're not honest. The government runs well enough, but tends to slowly shift its priorities towards matters which the benefactors of these irreplaceable officials find to be of importance. This is hitting home pretty hard. I feel like we're going through some similar stuff here, and have been for a while. With Juan II himself unable to fully grasp the intricacies of the matters in question, the guilty parties cannot easily be seen or removed from office. For now, we'll simply have to suffer the consequences. Gain 0.5 corruption. Unfortunate that skill and honor do not always go hand in hand. True enough. True enough. I can empathize, boy. Alright, how are we looking here? 71%, and that's the last one that needs to be repaired. They'll gain 10% per month. We're at plus 42% now. Sad news, the great statesman Alphonse V de Trastamara of Aragon has died. Our royal marriage with Aragon has ended. They tell us about the event of the Neapolitan succession, where among the possible options they went with, we shall follow Alphonse's last testament as their choice of action. That means they let them go. That usually happens. So Naples is no longer under a personal union with Aragon. My king, we have won the siege of Malacca. The siege lasted 603 days before the garrison finally succumbed to hunger and disease. Castile now controls the province. Garrison were allowed to march out, keeping their flags and arms. Okay. Well, let's test out a peace offer. We'll bring 12.39. I want to try and remember that number. We'll bring him home because we need a diplomat to offer. We have been informed that a diplomat from spy network from France. All right, now we want to see if we can offer a peace deal. Diplomacy. Actually, can I piece these guys out? Because sometimes you can make demands upon them. They won't accept. They're not ready to accept. Okay, what about Tlemcen? Were they in this also? I thought they were. No, I guess not. That's my bad. It was just Morocco and Tunis. Morocco also not willing. Okay. We want Granada, Jabal Tariq, that's Gibraltar, Malacca, I don't know what this is called in Spanish, and Maria. We want all of your money. They don't have any. Is that right? That can't be right. Shift. Oh, as much as they are willing to accept. Shift plus right mouse button to add largest possible amount. Okay. 25 war score. Maximum is 5 loans totaling 90 ducats. 25 war score. They say no. We're at positive 62. They're at a negative 247. So we're going to have to sit and camp on them for a while. And I'm going to bring these guys out to help. And I might as well bring these guys out as well. 81% is the lowest. Okay. We won that. Finish repairing there. Okay, because we're suffering some attrition. Oh, Aragon's sending troops into Morocco to incentivize them to peace out. Plague. Our people live in constant fear of epidemics, which have often proven far deadlier than wars or even famine. Yeah, these were actual real epidemics to be terrified of. To their dismay, an outbreak of smallpox has struck Albacete. It looks set. Oh, wait, Spanish. Albacete. It looks set to claim many lives, especially among infants, before it runs its course. We have to do something. Well, I do have the money to do it. Yeah, we have to do something. All right, that puts me at 161. Am I able to pay that loan back? I can. There, pay it back. 4% interest, okay. All right, get that monkey off our back. Alrighty, we're sitting here just kind of waiting. They can't take it forever. We're at 0 prestige now instead of -1. Oh snap, the Iberian wedding. That's really early. 14 November 1450. Oh, it is? It is 1450. Before I do this, that kind of snuck up on me. Can I disinherit Enrique? No, because we're at war. Prestige needs to be at least 0 to be able to disinherit an heir. It is at 0, knuckleheads. It just turned to 0, though. Well, okay. Ferdinand II, King of Aragon, was married to the Princess Isabella of Castile and Valladolid in October of 1469. This was a marriage of political opportunism, not romance. The court of Aragon dreamed of a return to Castile, and Isabella needed help to gain succession to the throne. Isabella was the Castilian. The marriage initiated a dark and troubled life in which Ferdinand fought on the Castilian and Aragonese fronts in order to impose his authority over the noble oligarchies, shifting his basis of support from one kingdom to the other according to the intensity of the danger. Wow, what a juggling act. Like, how do we frame that? To me, it sounds like somebody who's very clever and skilled, but it could just as easily be a fool. I don't know. I don't know what history says about this guy, but they did form Spain. Despite the political nature of the union, he loved Isabella sincerely. So it wasn't initially a marriage of romance, but it grew to be one, which often is not, which actually is, that's not an uncommon story even nowadays. People think they're in love. They find out years later what love really is. Many considered Ferdinand the savior of his kingdoms, a bringer of unity. Others despised him for having oppressed them. Machiavelli attributed to him the objectionable qualities of the Renaissance prince. I spoke about this in CK3. I vehemently oppose the premises and conclusions that Machiavelli had. They are the opposite of being principled. I think that is a terrible way to go and will end up being wrong more often than not. That's why I'm against it. But whether you call it Machiavelli because it's this era, or whether you call it Realpolitik in the age of Prussia, or pragmatism in the Roman era, this kind of approach has demonstrated success in history. It owns demonstrated success. It has examples of demonstrated success. So it's not like it's totally invalid. It's not the route I would go. But you can see with this kind of a circumstance right here, it worked for Ferdinand in this situation. It worked for, was his name Otto? Up here when Prussia was becoming a power. Things of that nature. So let us bind their dynasty to ours. Make Aragon a junior partner. Castile's opinion of Aragon changed by +200. Aragon's opinion of Castile changed by +200. Aragon lose neg 50% liberty desire. Florence's opinion of Castile changes by -50. Oh my gosh, 13 noble regiments rise up and revolt. And Zamora, this is terrible timing for me, but we're gonna do it. Okay, my king, we have formed a personal union with Aragon. They have sworn their complete allegiance to us, allowing us to rule our nations as one. Only good can come of this. Our two nations will now be ruled by our glorious king. My king Castilian noble rebels have risen up in Zamora, right here. Noble rebels are dissatisfied with their monarch, usually due to liberal reforms. They field professional troops with a large proportion of cavalry. Well, that might not be good for them, actually, if they have a large proportion of cavalry. Okay, well, what we need to do is run these guys up here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and risk bringing the Free Company as well, because I'm anticipating more people rising up. How are we doing here? We're fully healed up. And we beat those guys up. And we'll go back to repair, which will only take 1 month. Yeah, see, taking control of Zamora, so they're going to get 10% local autonomy, and that'll last for a while. Okay. Alright, we're about to show up, so we just simply couldn't get there in time. Oh, whoops. Are you full? No, not done yet. Alright, over here, I recently saw this. So we have dice rolls. And then there's a... This is our general. He's got 3 points in fire. We're losing 1 point because we're in a river crossing. And also there's a terrain effect. Highlands. So neg 1 for that. Our morale is better than theirs. They had a roll of 8. Our discipline is up over 100% because our general helps boost it. There's our morale breakdown of 3.2 versus their 2.6. I don't know what this means. Maybe that's combat ability. This is the tactics. We have plus 5%, but so do they. 1, 2, 3, 0. 4, 1, 2, 0. So they're better at maneuver, a little bit better at shock. We're way better at fire. Okay, the gray shows how many people could possibly be in here. The yellow is what we've got. These slashes are horses. The X's are our frontline troops. For them, the black is what they've got. Looks like they've got 3, 4, 5 regiments of horses, cavalry. We're rolling a lot of zeros. Alright, our reinforcements showed up, and we were able to beat them. Now we're going to stay here and siege this back. And our leader gained Glory Seeker, which gives plus 50% prestige from land battles and plus 50% army tradition from land battles. That's nice. Alright, over here we're fully healthy again. And we're blockading Morocco once more. At least this part of Morocco. Aragonese armies coming back home because the Iberian wedding has happened. Zamora has been occupied by us. Alright, Now, we can also invest in tech. We can get the pike square. Throughout the Middle Ages, cavalry's dominance was being challenged by disciplined pikemen. In battles such as Bannockburn or the Golden Spurs, cavalry was defeated by pikes. A combination of improved training and discipline, and the addition of swordsmen to provide close combat support has raised this formation to the peak of its efficiency. Increased over time, neighbor bonus, corruption. The technology level 4 was reached first at, okay. So we're not the first ones to gain level 4, I think is what that's telling us. Military tactics plus 0.25 and land morale increased by plus 0.5. Bonus effect, nice. All right, what do we have here? Your ports are blockaded. Which ports are those? Up here. I'll stay right here and keep Morocco blockaded. I think they're hurting me very little up here. It's these guys. How are you guys set for? We need at least one more positive than negative. $57. That would put them at negative 153. And if I take all of their gold, they go from negative 153 to negative 227. All right. Keep the pressure up. Bring my troops back down here. Actually, you go here, and you go here. Am I able to annex you yet? $1456. Okay. Ooh, I can get rid of them. That's gonna hurt me so hard in the prestige area. But it's gotta happen. Oh man, that's nasty. Negative 49. Gosh, I hate that. I hate that. It takes a long time to recover from. But maybe Isabel can claim the throne now. How are we doing on money? 2.89. Our truce with Navarre has ended. Okay. So it's just a waiting game. The inevitability is there, but oh, these are rebels. Okay, over here, I want to fabricate a claim on Dara. And in Morocco, actually, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And I'm at war with them anyway. I might not should have done that on Tlemcen. Not yet. But oh well. I should also say that from what I understand, this is an inevitability. With 1.33, you no longer have to come over here and fight all these guys. You could just sit on them right here, and it'll improve over time. It'll get more and more likely that they're willing to sue for peace. We have a peace offer value of 65. They have a negative of neg 220. Let's see if there's a monthly tick down. Hold on, my mic cord's all messed up. Okay. I think my volume got messed up a little bit too. Yeah, they went down to neg 219, then neg 218. All right, so it does tick down. It just ticks down really slow. Granada is making gains. What does that mean? Where are they making gains at? As France grows stronger, oh, strategic marriage. This is what I was talking about earlier. As France grows stronger and begins to exert her power across Western Europe, those of us unfortunate enough to be her neighbors have to take action. In order to counter the rising threat, we have skillfully devised a political marriage with the Habsburgs of Austria, ensuring blood relations between our countries for all time. Glory to the Habsburgs and glory to Castile. A new heir, 414, with a strong claim appears. Let's name him Felipe. Okay, so we did not get Isabel, but we got a good heir. One is bad, but this is up us. Felipe von Habsburg, 414. All right. How old is he? In 15 years, he's 0 years old. Okay, in 15 years, he'll start gaining personality traits. Oh, we're not moving as far as time. That Granada is making gains bothers me. Perhaps I ought to come up here. France is down here. Oh no, that's Naples. Okay. So Naples is still helping us out. Can you hang on, guys? I'm on my way. If you can just pin them there, they can't get away. Oh, shoot. Okay, we better accept this. This is in the Burgundian conquest of Liege. I don't really know what all that meant. Oh my gosh. With the stupid multiple events while I'm trying to see what happens here. With the growth of our professional army, new career opportunities abound for those with ability and ambition. The old nobles, however, still expect to be awarded all the most valuable commissions out of tradition in the centuries during which their lineages have served the crown faithfully. Some of our higher officers are now imploring us to open more opportunities for able men to rise in the ranks, while others oppose this vehemently and maintain that there are qualities only blood can assure. Well, that's ridiculous. We must safeguard the ancient traditions of our officer corps. We would gain 15 army tradition and 10 loyalty. Okay, this one we could sustain this because the burghers would only fall to 35. Or we can make room for newcomers in the higher parts of the hierarchy. We lose 10 army tradition. We gain 2.5% army professionalism. The nobility would lose 10, the burghers would gain 10, and because of the numbers there, this is probably better. Plus, I like this idea more. All right, unpause. And we lost on that one. So we have to get repaired. What are we looking at here? 1, 2, 3. We lost a Carrack, guys. That's bad. And we have some barks. Some galleys. Oh man, my trade fleet's in here also? Oh, I did not want to do that. That's why I had 2. All right, let's get the barks out of there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And send you to here. Can I? I guess not. Innovativeness is decreasing. We have missions fulfilled. Truce with the Papal State ended. What's this say? Ports are blockaded. England declared war upon Offaly. All right. Maybe I can just repair damaged ships. Okay. Get these other guys out here to beat up on Burgundian conquest of Liege. Defeat. Was that the whole war or just a battle? Oh, hold on, pause. My king Cleves accepted peace with their former... Okay, they white peaced out. We won our naval conflict, but there's more that came out of nowhere. France is making claims on us. We are beating up on these guys pretty badly. Maybe this is what's keeping Granada in the war, the strength of the navy. Hit pause. La Mancha is now the seat of a new cardinal. He is loyal to Castile. They have 4 active cardinals now. Okay. Bourbonus is over here making claims. It's probably this. All right, we got another win. And let's go repair. 81% is the low number. Okay. How are we looking over here? Maybe we need to bring them back to Cadiz. Oh, no. I see. So they're all set up right here to snipe. Oh, here they are. Okay. Go to Sevilla. Alrighty. Let's open up Granada again, see where they're at. What do we have here? Declared war on England. Oh, wow. France and England are at war. Negative 245. Gosh, I could have sworn that number went up. Demands exceed war score. That number went up. Hit pause. What do we have here? A peace offer from Morocco. Military access from Portugal. I don't want to give them military access. It allows them. Well, yes, I do. I'll just let the chips fall where they may. We're going to probably be absorbing Portugal anyway. They're a historical friend. We would say yes. Portugal requesting access from us, accepting will allow them to move armies into our land. They are at war. Okay, so they're not going to war with Morocco. It's so that they can get to these places in France. All right, we accept. And we got caught with the spy network in Tlemcen. Morocco is offering a peace offer. A white peace. I want to know if we can put our own peace deal in there. Can we force them to break any alliances, cancel subjects, release nations, annual treaties, give up claims, humiliate, steer trade, transfer trade power, war reps. Okay, they won't accept with a humiliate. Cede provinces, revoke cores, return cores, cancel subjects, no. Release nations. End rivalry. Annul treaty, that's what I was looking for, but that'll happen whenever I take Granada over. Okay, well, they're not willing to give us anything else. Maybe here. No. Okay, I'm willing to accept just a straight up white peace. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, well, it's just with Morocco. Let me make sure about that. I am paused, right? Yes. Morocco accepted our generous peace offer, terms white peace. We have lost to humiliate rival Casus Belli against Morocco. All right, Tunis. It's the same thing with them. You must wait a day. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, he's free. Sue for peace. Return. Cores. Cancel subjects. Release nations. And annul treaties. They will not accept that. War reps. They say no. Money. No. All right, so send that demand. And now you guys should be a lot more. Yeah, they're willing to accept everything. And we're going to take them over, so there's no need to go through anything else. So we're taking 90 gold, which is everything they got, and we're taking all 4 provinces. My king, Granada, accepted our generous peace offer terms, full annexation. Generous. It means you get to live. You get to keep breathing. Granada pays 90 gold. They're fully annexed to Castile. Castile gets 74.86 ducats because it's to us and our allies. So Aragon got some also. Castile gains 0.05 inflation. With the conquest Casus Belli, Castile suffers 38 aggressive expansion. Castile and their allies gain 9 prestige. Castile gains 7.4 prestige on top of that, I think. And Granada gains -9 prestige. Okay, so currently we're at -33 prestige. Country is at war because we are. We're up here with the Burgundian claim going on. Provincial unrest. Corruption is growing. What that means is I have to root out corruption. And I gotta click up until that sucker goes away. So we had to go up to 2.31. We're making 4.58 ducats a month. Let's bring that to the rest of the fleet. These guys can go... Oh, let's see. They can protect trade in Sevilla. I'm willing to have them do that even though we're at war because that war is taking place up here. And I'm not expecting people to come down this way. I am hoping that's not a great mistake. Truces will expire. Disputed succession. Mission fulfilled. Oh, it tells me. Subjugate Navarre, reclaim Andalusia, claims in Aragon. Okay. Could we take this? Oh, yeah, we can. It would give us a restoration of Union Casus Belli on Naples. We might do that, but not right now. We're at war right now. Okay. It is showing us that we view Castile, view Aragon. You can view their missions as they are your subject. Oh, that's awesome. And then you have the Navarra tree. This is almost done. What is it? Aragonese Navy. Have a naval force limit of at least 30. What do you get? Permanent claim on the Barbary Coast and the Algiers area. Wow. Wow. Playing as Castile gets you access to a whole boatload of expansion options. This seems to be the take over the world, or at least part of the world country. Oh man. Oh, it's been a long time since I've looked over at chat, Latte. I'm sorry, man. It's good to see you. What else have I got going on here? Let's see. Moving down here. Uncontested right, uncontested claims. You can convert provinces to Catholic. Yeah, I can. I need to send a missionary. Let's send them to here. Send these guys up to La Mancha. Send him to Toledo. Actually, no, because I'm in an age of instability right now. Gosh, I got a war that I promised myself to. I don't know what all I can do. I can maybe send the Free Company up to try and help a little bit. Gosh, I feel bad about that. Head to there. Everybody else I need to keep back because we're going to get rebels. You see, it's already starting, rebel factions. All right. I also need to core. There it is. Now, this is something I don't have 100% understanding on. I don't know if it's the smart thing to do or not. I also am not certain when I should state places because I don't know what that does for you really. But I think just kind of common sense, this is Spain, right? I think anything that's in this area, this de jure, anything that should be de jure, we want to make it a core. I don't really know what it does for us other than maybe makes it harder for people to make a claim on. Okay, I had enough to get all 4. All right, so those are getting taken care of. We can build improvements, but I don't really have anything except castles. Well, I can build temples. This is another area. Oh, marketplace. This is another area that I'm not totally sure about. Also, I don't know if I want to spend that money yet. How much is it? Because I would want a marketplace. Oh, we're not at the Diplotech level that I need to be. I think Sawinka here. I don't know how to pronounce that. Well, How does tax work? Does it work on is it taxing this county or is it contributing to a national tax? Because I'm thinking if you have a high value item like this, you would want development to be increased, not tax. Not development, but production. Well, that is development, yeah. Local recruitment time, local trade power, sailor, land force, and naval force limit increased. So it's a little bit of a mix between, it gives you a little bit of trade power, but mostly you're getting land force, naval force, supply limit. This is helping us martially. Monthly tax income plus 0.1. So if I want someplace like cows, right? And I did this. Oh no, the development also kicks all that stuff up. Production plus 1. Production income plus 0.03. Trade value increased. Yeah, this is probably something I actually have to do some research on it. Let's unpause, get these ships together. Okay, so I lost a Carrack in that war. That hurt. I don't know if I lost any galleys. I built 3, so no, I did not. I have a bunch of cogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can transfer 7,000 men at a time. I don't really want to lose the cogs. Maybe I could split them off, though. Okay. Select those, bring them over here to Almeria or Murcia. All right, and then have these guys hunt pirates in the Sevilla trade node. All right, how are things looking financially? 4.58, we're doing good. right. Land theft. Oh my. Many land donations are quite old. And while they are always written down, both landscape and names may well have changed since a donation was originally written. Oh my gosh. Recently, the clergy have been accusing several members of the nobility of outright land theft in the form of encroaching on lands donated to the clergy long ago. The nobility, on the other hand, argue that it is the clergy who are trying to seize land areas they do not own. Many land donations are quite old, and while they are always written down, both landscape and names may well have changed since a donation was originally written. Okay. Well, if you've got the paper, you've got the proof. If you don't have the paper, you don't have the proof. Recently, the clergy have been accusing several members of the nobility of outright land theft in the form of encroaching on lands donated to the clergy long ago. The nobility, on the other hand, argue that it is the clergy who are trying to seize lands they do not own. Whoever we decide to side with will become the majority landholder in the area. All right, well, we're super Catholic, right? Let's see what happens here. Clergy gains plus 1% of land. The clergy estate gains 15 loyalty. They are just a touch lower than the nobility right now in loyalty. Nobility estate loses 15 loyalty. Clergy estate gains 10 influence, which they could probably benefit from more than, and the nobility could stand to lose some. They're at 58%. That's a little worrisome. All right, if I sided with the nobility, it's going to go the other way, right? Clergy loses 15 loyalty. Nobility gains 15. Clergy estate loses 10 influence. Nobility gains 10 influence. Favor neither party. Ooh, they both lose 15 loyalty. And they both lose 10 influence. I'm going to side with the clergy. All right. Now we got a problem, though. We have disloyal estates. For the second time, it's the nobility giving us issues. Last time I put this in there and I got nothing back for it, so I'm not making that mistake again. And I can revoke it in about a year. Yeah. We could summon a diet. Everybody would gain loyalty and it would, yeah, that would work. It would push them up over 30. Summon the diet. All right, what are our options? The clergy need base tax of at least 5 in Valladolid. That's pretty easily accomplishable. At least I know how to do it. The nobility have an army equal or larger than England. I don't know if I could do that easily or not. 37? Well, we're only one away. That might be the one to go with. I could just overbump, accomplish this, and then get rid of them. Upon completion, will have the following effects. Nobility estate gains 10 loyalty. Castile gets thriving arms industry, which increases morale of armies and land maintenance modifier. All right, what do the burghers want? Increase base production in Cadiz to 6. They would gain 10 loyalty. We would gain 97 ducats. I mean, that's appealing, but I have a general rule in life that you shouldn't do things just for money, except like a job. Like if you don't have a job, if you're making a move, if you're moving to a place and the only reason that you're moving out there is to get a bump in your income, for my book and how I operate, that needs to be a major, that needs to be a huge bump if I'm happy where I'm at. and more often than not, I feel like long-term repercussions say don't take that offer, because let's say that they want to move you someplace that you have no interest in, right? Alaska or something. Let's just say, like, pick something, and you have no interest in going there. You don't have any interest in how the culture is there, or you don't like what's available or what's not available. It doesn't fit with your personality at all. Literally, the only reason that you're going is for a bump up in salary. I think that's a bad move. And so I don't want to take this because they're good to go on their loyalty. The only appealing thing here is that almost 100 ducats, and I think that's a cheap way out. I don't think that pays off in the long run. I want to try this nobility one. I'm currently at 35. I can carry 36. So I'm going to build 2 units, and then I'm going to get rid of one of them as soon as I accomplish this. All right. Seuss is trying to... What is Seuss going to do? Sus? Seuss? I don't know. They're these guys. You got rebels. You're going to come over here and take land from us? I don't care what you got claims on. It's a pipe dream. Uh-oh. Okay, here's my guys. Between us and these guys, we're 10. Where are you going? We'll arrive in Aviarn. And where are you going? We'll arrive in Quercy on 26 Jan. Oh, they might be ships passing in the night. They're both scheduled to transfer zones on the same day. All right, let's so far so good. Let's continue making our way there. We're probably going to get wiped out eventually because I'm not micromanaging. I need to make 2 of these units, and I guess I'll make them here, and let's say here. All right, good enough. Also, these guys need to be set. There's a certain thing you can do. I don't want to do scorch earth. No, we're trying to incorporate and integrate these people. But we do want to manage autonomous rebel suppression. Right here. Provincial unrest reduction from having an army there is negative 1.5. We can't get more than a maximum of neg 5. But if we click this, and it's this area, so we confirm that, it goes to negative 1.87. With these guys, they're already at neg 4.25, but if we click this, they go up to neg 5. So probably what we ought to do is we ought to split that group. All right. And they're at negative 2.5. Okay. Then you guys, same thing. Negative 1.87. Same thing. Negative 2.81, because these are smaller counties. So it looks like it's, and I did lose up there. It looks like it's a ratio of how many troops you have to that county's size. My guys got beat here. Oh, they got to come all the way back home. All right. Are we able to peace out with these guys? Completed estate agenda. You complete the estate agenda, protect against England, giving you the following benefits. Nobility estate gains 10 loyalty. Castile gets thriving arms industry until 25 March 1464. Where we get 5% additional morale. We're already really high morale as Castile. Negative 5% land maintenance modifier. Click OK. Go ahead and send these guys right here. And then get rid of these guys. And then that should bring us back within tolerance. We are. We do have ships we can build, and I might be able to create a flagship. No, I need a lot of money for that. I think 500 gold maybe. Our navy is too small. Oh, okay. Okay. Is my trade fleet still 6? Yes. I could move that up to 9, but I think I should add to the armada. Oh, which I need to mothball the cogs. My pirate hunting armada needs more galleons, I think. Or galleys. Where are they at? Maybe they're way out here by the Azores. No. I do not see them. Are they in here? No. These are just cogs, right? Yes. Well, I'll have to unpause it and wait until I see them drift by. I'm not spotting them anywhere. Here they are. No, that's my trade fleet. So what are you guys? Ah. Okay, so I'm going to make more galleys for... I could use a Carrack, actually, to replace the one that we lost. How much would that be? 50? I've got the money. Okay, what's our numbers looking like? We need 5. So I can make 4 galleons and 1 Carrack. Oh, galleys are cheap also. All right. Sevilla, you're going to get started on a Carrack. And then 1, I'm actually going to, well, go ahead and do 4. Okay, and there we go. How are we doing on money? 6.93, not bad, not bad. We have a huge network here in Morocco. Covert actions, fabricate. I want Tangiers. Melilla. Oh, I can only get one at a time, that's right. All right, give me Tangiers, that's the most important. Give me Melilla. Give me, this starts with T, yeah. Tetuan. Okay, and that's all I can do for right now. Hopefully I can actually get to those claims, because we got to do Naples for our next war. And that reminds me, that's right, I wanted to see if I could peace out. And they won't let me. White peace. Okay, so I don't have anything, yeah, I don't have anything elected. They're just not ready to say yes. All right. coring is just about 50% done. Rebel faction interest is increasing, but it looks like it's being suppressed. No, there's a 21% chance that it gains 10% each year. So it is being slowed down, but it's also growing. Peasants are always superstitious, and the appearance of a comet in the sky has caused panic among our people. They are convinced that this is a sign that the end of times is near, or that something bad is going to happen in the near future. It's an omen. Okay, I've seen this before. There's no way out of this. We're going to lose one stability. It's just, how do we want to respond? And it's just flavor. You have a whole bunch of options here. It's an omen. The end is nigh, so agree with them. The economy fools. I wish I lived in more enlightened times. That's a historic dork joke. It has no business sitting here at 1454. It's way out of step. With, including in reality. Like, you had scientists, people that were discovering things scientifically, like that the universe, they already knew that the world wasn't flat. The idea that there were a bunch of people in Middle Ages times that that most people believed that the earth was flat, that's like a flipping urban legend. You go take a college course, they'll tell you that's stupid. That's based on nothing. People did not think that to a large extent. The significant portion of the population believed that the world was round. They didn't necessarily know how big it was. That's why Columbus thought that he would land by sailing west. He thought that he would get to East India, right? What they just called India, but we called East India. So they didn't realize how big the world was, but they knew it was round. And there were people that were figuring out that the universe did not revolve around us, but instead the planets revolved around the sun. Like, I think Galileo worked on that. Well, these people, and people like St. Thomas of Aquinas, these people that wrote a lot on science that we stood on the shoulders of to learn more stuff, they wrote 10 times more about theology. So, and this time right here, the more enlightened times is actually, it's funny on multiple levels, and it doesn't fit on multiple levels, but that's humorous. If only we had comet sense. That's a dad joke right there. That's pretty good. I like dad jokes. Oh, comet, devils, kith and kin. That seems actually pretty reasonable. Like, it's a sign. It's a sign from Lucifer, right? Bad things are upon us. It kind of goes over with the omen, but it's like more of a Catholic way maybe of saying it. That's it. I'm dead. This is Denethorring. All is lost. Abandon your posts. I'm gonna go. We're super Catholics, right? I'm gonna go with this one. Oh, comet, devils, kith and kin. All right. So we lost one stability, but because we were at +1, we're only at 0. Oh man, that was pretty good. That was a nice laugh. All right. Are you guys gonna refill? I don't think you are, because that's our free company right there. Oh, shnikes, there's not even anything being done over here anymore. You know, it says we're losing, but I just see blue all over here. I don't see a whole lot of red. I'm gonna send my dudes back up and see what they can do. Gotta manage yourself, though. There's a 3.6k in the area. Here's a 1k. All right. Incompetent diplomacy. It is almost inconceivable how incompetent Juan II is when handling diplomacy. We do not know how he did it, but he managed to hurt our diplomatic standing in the world with a single letter of apology to an ambassador. How can it be possible? Castile gets incompetent diplomacy until 27 September 1459, giving the following effects. Improve relations is negative 10%. Oh, man. All right. Oh, you know what we might be able to do? We might be able to annex. 1456. We're about 2 years out. Okay. And what about these guys? When can we annex you? Integrate. 1500. Okay, we got a little ways to go there. And we want to bring Naples back in under that personal union, too. So it's funny because we're going to colonize. We're going to colonize in Africa. We're going to colonize in South America, Central America, the Caribbean. Probably not North America, though. Just because one of the guides I was watching said, just stick to the Caribbean and South. Oh, we occupied. Nice. We have contributed. But first, before doing all that, it looks like we're going to expand east. We're going to get Naples. We might get some of these Italian states. We still don't know what's going to go on with Burgundy. I'm definitely wanting to get control of the coastal regions along here to control at least the Seville trade node. So we'll be going to war with Morocco. There's a lot of stuff that we have on the docket. Cruelty of mercenaries. War is seldom without brutality. Soldiers are not known for their mercy, but this war has seen some exceptionally vile behavior on the part of our occupying forces. It appears that the Free Company, the mercenary band we have sent to occupy western Burgundy, are unsatisfied with the wages we provide them and have resorted to robbing the civilian population. Their actions have tainted the image of all our troops, as extortion by means of terror and torture become commonplace. Castilian soldiers are reviled as well as feared, and stories of their atrocities spread well beyond the borders of the war. Is that one of those bad but good things? We should prevent this from happening in the future. We would gain 2% army professionalism, curtailed mercenaries, maintenance and cost would increase. Or, oh man, bellum se ipsum aleti, let them take what they want. We lose 10 prestige. The western Burgundy area gets terrorized by mercenaries until 30 November 1457. And a massive increase in local unrest as a result. Well, I already know what I'm going to do. And because this is my sentiment anyhow, but also it just makes sense. We're not going to be hiring a lot of mercenaries. That Merc company was a very temporary thing so that we could accomplish the mission to get the claim on Granada. But also we're at negative 31 prestige, and this would just pile on top of that. This already takes forever and a day to get rid of. And then on top of that, this is just the right thing to do, right? Like easily the right thing to do. I think that probably goes across eras. Sometimes people, they get, I wouldn't say sometimes, I would say it's actually really, really common that people are guilty of judging past cultures and societies by modern day contexts. which is flipping kind of foolish if you think about it. But everybody, it's like everybody gets caught up in this. I think I've did it multiple times before I learned about this, and once I learned about it, I was like, oh, duh, that kind of makes sense. But I don't think this is one of those cases. I think this is one of those things where it would read just like what they said. Like, we have a bad reputation now because we're not conducting by, I think what they called it was they called it the rules of war. Like, literally, I think Europeans called it. There were rules of etiquette in war, which sounds a little bizarre to me, but those were one of those. That was part of it. You don't do that kind of stuff. In fact, if they were really, really pissed off at somebody, I think that they would tell them, we're suspending the rules of the chivalric code. That pretty much told those people, we're coming here to rain nightmares down on you. We're going to do horrible, horrible things to you. So, but for them to let their enemies know that meant that the default was something else, right? All right, we're going to let this go to January of 1455. And then I'm going to save it and go ahead and drop stream because we got pretty much the first part of this done. I have my armies down here ready for any kind of rebellion. Am I able to peace out yet? Because I wouldn't mind. Selecting this option will allow you to offer a peace deal to your enemy. They still say no, but it's getting a lot closer. 18 versus neg 30. Okay, extension of the monopoly on mining and smelting. No, I don't think so. The monopoly on mining and smelting operations we granted to the nobility has expired, meaning that we are now able to reclaim the income from these operations. However, the nobility are keen to keep their privileges and are offering to pay us a lump sum in return for the monopoly being guaranteed for a further 10 years. Oh, we would also gain 1 mercantilism. That's maybe not so bad, but I think I'm going to say not now. What I want to watch, I'm at 5.9 and I'm at 44.53. Okay, we got cores. Let me see if that 44.53 changes. The province of Malaga is now considered part of our... Okay. They're still at 44.53, so... Didn't I say no? I'll have to look at the replay on this. Because it says cannot be revoked for 10 years. I thought I said no. I'll have to look. I think I dropped a little bit here also. All right. Well, what do we have here? You can enact a government reform. Okay, we're going to strengthen noble privileges and gain plus 15% to national manpower. Let that go 1 more month and see if that did anything. So I think it was supposed to make them happy. I'm not sure though. Maybe not. All right, still at 44.53. And if I look back at government reforms, where was that at? Tech, trade, economy, diplomacy, government. I don't know how to get back into that screen. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, it doesn't make them any happier. We just simply gain the 15% to manpower. All right. All right, still sieging here. We're at negative 14%. It says we're losing. But every time I look up here, I see more ally armies than enemy armies. I don't know what to make of that. But we're already 3 months past where I said I was going to save it. So I'm not going to state these provinces just because I'm not exactly sure what that's doing for me and what it's not doing, how it's hurting me, how it's helping me. One more try. I think I just looked at this though. Sue for peace. 21 versus neg 38. Okay. So we're getting close to being able to get out of this war, at which point in time we will probably go take on Naples. And we picked up Navarra. Aragon is now under us. We're fabricating here in the Tangiers area of Morocco. How is Portugal doing? They do not have that idea yet, so I don't want to interact with them just yet. All right, save game. And there we go. It's 3 April 1455. Oh, you just showed up, man. I'm sorry, Belisarius. I've been streaming for a while. Think you have to revoke it manually. Checked in a clip. You did click no. Okay, that's good. If you click the war icon on the bottom, you can see the breakdown on war score. Let me take a look at that before I take off. All right, we won this and then we lost a bunch. Maybe these were early battles. I don't know. I see a bunch of our armies up there, but not very many wins. So maybe they're all just aimlessly marching around. It is AI. How are we looking? 113K versus 27,000, 24,000 versus 5,000. We should be beating them badly, no less. See the downward red arrow on the right? Yes. Your current ticking war score is neg 10. Oh, because of Liege. You can gain 35 more war score by achieving the war goal to take Liege. While they control Liege, they get war score over time, so that pushes your score down. Yeah, of course. Okay. See, I'm at the point where I know a little bit about this game, but there's so much to know that I'll forget. And then whenever you mention or you tell me where to look, then I'll be like, oh, that's right, Well, I am really sorry. I need to bring stream down, but this is the kind of interaction that I've been hoping for. So maybe keep an eye out. If you see me playing in the future, I'd be more than happy to interact with you and hear all you have to share on this. If that's something you're interested in, I'm just letting you know. But thanks for dropping by the channel, and I hope to see you another time in the future. That is it for now, though.